Okay, today's lesson is going to be about the safety pin cycle, okay? Something really simple, safety pin, which is absolutely crucial to how your body works. So let's talk about this, okay? So in chiropractic we have what's called the safety pin cycle, and this is how life happens in your body. We often don't think about our nervous system, but our nervous system controls everything, and it's our interface between our environment and how we experience our environment. So let's take a look at this. So we have a brain cell, okay, and down here we have a tissue cell, and in order for a tissue cell to tell the brain what it's experiencing, it's going to send a message up to the brain, and the brain then tells that tissue cell what to do. So you have an outside stimulus, say you put your hand on a hot plate, your hand pulls back right away because of this reflex. This nervous system sends a message up to your brain cell sends a message back down to the tissue cell telling it to respond and react. This is how all life happens in your body. And so what happens when you have a subluxation or a misalignment, a subluxation causes not necessarily a complete disconnect there, because that would cause the cell to eventually die, but what happens, you have either too much or too little information being transmitted from the tissue cell to the brain cell, or the brain cell down to the tissue cell, which then leads to what we call the 4 Ds, okay? And those 4 Ds are, first, dis-ease. Not disease, but dis-ease, lack of ease in the body, okay? Because now the body can't comprehend its environment quite so well. That necessarily is going to lead to dysfunction, because now the cell is no longer functioning like it's designed to, or the organ, or wherever else those nerves go to, which then after long enough will lead to disease, symptoms in the body, and finally, long enough, what does that lead to? That's going to lead to premature death, okay? If you have pressure on a nerve long enough and it's not functioning properly, it starts to dysfunction, it causes disease processes. Eventually it's going to choke off that organ or wherever else it goes. And it may not happen overnight, but absolutely over time, if that nerve to the heart or to the stomach or some other vital organ in your body is compressed long enough, it's absolutely going to affect the function and the health of the organ, and ultimately of you and your loved ones. So that's the big idea of chiropractic and subluxation, and how that safety pin cycle, that way the nervous system works and how we experience life in our bodies affects you, and why it's so crucial to have subluxation removed so that you can express full life as you're designed to. Alright, thanks so much for listening. I'll be right in and we'll talk about this concept.